It's another original BW Sports One production.
Pew pew.
All right, welcome back to the Combat Zone. Today we have the one and only Dimitri Niforos. Dimitri, how are we doing today, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good. Hey, I can't complain. She doesn't listen even if I try to say something, so I'm not even going to try. So, hey, right now is about you though, sir. You're getting ready to make the trip to Evansville, Indiana for the inaugural first ever Southern Indiana Combat Productions show in the beginning back at the Evansville Coliseum. So before we get into that matchup that you got a big one up against Andrew Hevener, let's hear a little bit about Dimitri, the background of Dimitri, kind of going into and getting started in your MMA career or other combat sports as well.
Wonderful. And we'll keep it quick. So, my name is Dimitri Niforos. I live in Las Vegas. I train at one of the best gyms in the world, Syndicate MMA. So, always wonderful work to get there. How am I? Who am I? Lover of historian. I work two full-time jobs. I have a career in housing management. Fighting is strictly a hobby, but I love it. So, I'm glad that they're going to host me in Indiana. I'm so excited. I was mostly spent most of my life in Chicago, so very
Okay.
familiar with Indiana, but not familiar at all with that part of Indiana, right? Right on the
Hmm.
Ohio River. So,
Just
and
a
I'm
bit
very
different on the side of the state. You were from noticing all the northern side. Now you're completely south of you.
yes, I'm excited. I assume the people are going to be nice to me, but they're going to hope I lose, and I can respect that.
Given the fact that obviously you are facing Andrew from Evansville area, obviously yes, you will be the maybe not necessarily underdog, but you will definitely be not be the fan favorite that night. So tell me a little bit of some of the keys that you've uh, dealt with in your life to get to that amateur belt for it just being a hobby. Now that's one hell of a hobby for one, for your body, for two, your mind. So kind of tell us a little bit about how you've been able to just keep this a quote unquote hobby, and I'm gonna say that loosely, sir,
Sure.
hobby loosely, compared to what you've dealt with right now.
Sure. So, what I like to say is once you fight once, it's very hard to go do something else and get the same feeling. I'm an avid chess player. I play all the time, probably more
Okay.
than I train. And let me tell you, when someone starts talking, I lose my mind, right? I go play a basketball game. Someone starts talking, I lose my mind. What I find with fighting is it's the ultimate proving ground. Fighters are the most nice because there's a potential that you get your ass kicked if you're not nice to the right person. And you don't find that anywhere in life business, corporations, pickup games. So you fight once, you end up fighting twice, you end up fighting three times. Oh, you go on a winning streak, and then the amateur title comes calling right during COVID. So you fly to Florida, you realize it's really nice. And then you question, am I really a fighter yet? Then they go, well, you're not a fighter till you defend a title. So you go and do that. Then you go and do a champion versus champion, different weight classes, which was the last fight. And then it finally came down to like, are you really a fighter until you fight professionally? So to me, it's no, and that's why we're doing this October 22nd. Uh,
Okay. So is this going to be a one and done thing in pro since you're going to be a fighter finally in people's minds?
I'd love to say yes, but I've been saying that for every single fight. So I'm gonna fight. The fight's gonna happen. It's gonna go. I'm gonna like the second the fight ends, I'm gonna have the ultimate relief, right? Because fighting isn't. It's fun, but at some point it's tough. Then you sit down, you go, I'm never doing that shit again. And then a week goes by, and you go, you know what? What would one more do to you? You know, why not one more?
So you mentioned, you're at Syndicate out there in Vegas. What type of regimen do they put you on as far as your training goes?
Sure. Syndicate is really free free flowing, and it lets you kind of, so mixed martial arts is an art.
Hmm.
You come in there with your artistry and they help you. They don't try to redesign you, they don't try to push you to do things you don't want to do. There's so much class flexibility that you just attend what you want to do, and they're very open. We know how every gym works. You find your click, you work with your click, you find that space in the corner of the gym, on the free time, and you work. And that's what they have me doing. I mean, let's be honest here. Andrew is a jiu-jitsu guy. I do not know much about him. but I know he loves jujitsu. I love jujitsu. We're gonna hug. This is gonna be the best hugging match that Southern Indiana's probably seen in a long time. And and it's fun. And it's just who can be better that day and who has the better hug, right?
So, would you consider your hug on a scale to 1 to 10? Where would you put it?
Oh my. Oh, uh, not that high because I've heard some of the best huggers in the world. And let me tell you, I'm nowhere near that. And and it's one of those weird things, and I think even my opponent would agree to this. The second we grab each other, we're gonna know who's the better hugger. And then the real fight's gonna come on the person who realizes that's not me, what they do with it.
No. So what
So
is your favorite obviously you're a jits guy, you love the hugging
sure.
perceptive art. What is your favorite moves in that? How did you kind of get stuck on jitsu and move into that, and what's your kind of your favorite moves to do? In
Sure.
training, of course. In just practice. Cuz we can't
No,
give the whole card out.
no, of course, of course. So I discovered jiu-jitsu in college. We had a jiu-jitsu team, Northern Illinois University. The college paid for all our jiu-jitsu tournaments, all our training, everything. Very spoiled. I realized the real world does not work that way, right? You got to pay for those memberships. And through then, I discovered my jits. I was taught by a guy who went to 10th Planet, super skinny, super tall guy. So he taught me all I don't want to call the non-traditional jiu-jitsu, right?
Now
That
this
you
is
would
in
come from
Chicago?
this is in Chicago, correct?
Okay. What was his name up there?
His name's Rick Dimitrov. He doesn't fight as much anymore. He's straight in the jiu-jitsu scene. Shout out to him. And then I moved to Los Angeles. Obviously, the Cali Jiu-Jitsu, in my opinion, is the best in the country, but the same thing, 10th Planet style. Then in Syndicate, I realized that could get you so far, even though I train it. And I really adopted kind of what the foreign guys are doing. I always make a joke because I'm Greek. I'm one of the more ethnic guys in the gym. And you have these Russian guys come in. They barely do jiu-jitsu, but they can hold anyone down. And it's 5 sequences. So now I've been trying to master those 5 sequences, right? And hopefully use them on Andrew. That's the game plan, but we'll see.
There you go. There you go. So, kind of talking about Andrew, he is the hometown guy. He is from the Evansville area. This is the inaugural Southern Indiana Combat Production show. It's called In the Beginning, very first show. It's been a long time since we've seen an MMA event at the Evansville Coliseum. And honestly, I can't wait because I remember going back down there, watching my buddies fight in there. I never fought in Evansville. I just fought in the Indianapolis area. But yeah, I mean, what does it mean for you to not only, be coming to Indiana for a fight, but kind of what is at stake for you? Obviously, again, loosely hobby, but we all know, like you said, once you get in there, you get hit, you get hugging, you get twisting and turning, all that adrenaline runs through. So, what does it mean to you coming into Indiana and taking on the hometown kid?
Wonderful. I'm going to give you a historical allegory here to make it fun because that's how
All
I
right,
view this.
roll with it, brother.
Beautiful. So we had the Asian steppe, which nomadic cultures formed. The temperatures would get rough. They were the toughest people. Then they would leave and they'd go to civilization and wreck up the place and take stuff and settle, do all nasty stuff. So how I view it is I'm that nomadic warrior. I'm coming into his hometown, his society, his civilization. I'm riding in horseback. All the people are like, kick this guy's ass. We don't want this nomadic guy taking over. And I feel like that. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be a super villain. After I win, I'm going to look at everyone and say, "Who's buying me the first Bush Light?" And then we'll go from there. But, but
Why does everybody go to Bush Light nowadays?
oh, in college where I went, that's where
Oh,
everyone drank. So I assume that's what you guys drink.
oh
Then
God.
if
I
you're
mean,
there,
there's a lot of people that everywhere that drink Bush Light, but yeah,
not a West
myself,
Coast thing. You would be
Stella.
shocked. You would be
Uh,
shocked. No one here on the West Coast drinks it.
well, I've only been as far as Denver one time, and it
Okay,
was only for like a 2 day thing. So I'd love to make it out to the West Coast sometime, definitely. I hear San Diego's nice.
very nice. Yeah, I spent some time there too.
All right. So does living in Vegas, kind of give you, I don't want to necessarily say an advantage anymore because there are gyms all over the place, but
Mhm.
Vegas kind of being one of the pinnacles in the MMA scene, the combat sports scene. What does that mean for you being out there and training with, like you said, the best gym in Syndicate?
So what it does is Syndicate's always going to have a rivals for the UFC fights, right? I'm coming in, my buddy's fighting in the UFC. I want to go train at a gym real quick. You got Extreme Couture's or Syndicate. So I have a lot of people that come from across the country. Some in the UFC, some in the professional level, some in the high end amateur level. that come in the gym every day and I get such a new look. And what's valuable about that is they have no clue what I'm going to do. I have no clue what they're going to do. You can test out, does my stuff work? And the odds that when me and Andrew grab each other, that I recognize his patterns more than he recognizes mine is in my favor. So I would say my maybe the best advantage is I just have more tools to work with. Where his gym, I heard Nice Guys Jiu Jitsu is legit. I heard they have a keg, they drink. What a society! I love that. But I don't know how many new guys are rolling in. Is he rolling with the same 20 guys every day for the past few years? And that's good. And I love the camaraderie. But it's like, I mean, of part of evolving as a fighter is seeing where you stack up compared to everyone else.
That's true. That's true. All right. Now the hard part of the interview. It's the end of the interview. This is how we're going to kick off kick off. We already kicked it off. This is how we're going to end every interview for the Southern Indiana Combat Productions. Dimitri, I have something what we call rapid knockout. Okay, I'm going to give you three questions. It doesn't necessarily have to be quick, just boom, boom, boom.
Sure.
But I'm gonna give you three questions. Has nothing to do with MMA fighting at all whatsoever. You throw out what your answer is. Okay.
Okay, cool.
All right. Here we go. Question number one. Favorite food.
Favorite food? Oh, sushi. All you can eat sushi every
Okay.
weekend.
Any types, particularly like any like California roll or
Oh no,
spicy?
we'll go to the restaurant and we'll tell the waitress or waiter your four best rolls that you think. Go ahead, and then we'll keep going from there.
All right. All right. Number two. Favorite music. What is getting Dimitri ready in the gym and ready for a fight? And then flip side, what are you just rolling down the street with?
Sure. So I only listen to pop music from the Balkans. I walked out to every fight I've ever had to Greek music.
Okay.
Indiana will be privileged to that as well when I walk out to some Greek music. So I'm just listening to Balkan pop when I train, when I go. If they give me the aux cord at the gym, we're going to Bulgaria, right? That's where the sounds are from. So
All right. All right. And question number three. If you had to pick your top three pound for pound MMA fighters that ever stepped foot in the octagon, cage,
um,
whatever, who would your top three be?
what a loaded question. I love it.
Yep.
Uh, I have to. I won't get too deep into it because I can sit an hour here with you and like really cement it. I'm gonna have to go number one, Khabib, for sure.
Okay.
And then number two, John Jones. And the only reason John Jones is a number one is because it's obvious that he cheated. We just don't know to what extent, right? So,
Hmm.
and then
Interesting. Interesting.
right, and then the third. Uh, Look, I'm a huge sucker for BJ Penn or Tony Ferguson. I know they haven't done so well, but what they brought at their time, I got to give that spot to either of them. It might be a tie.
A tie between Ferguson and Penn, really? Okay. If you had to, I mean, it probably just come down to a coin flip, but if you had to pick one over the other, who do you think would go head to head against each other and come out victorious?
Oh, I think, man, like now I don't even want to see that fight, sadly, right?
I'm
But
with you.
but I guess Tony, you got to give it to Tony.
Okay. All right. I don't know. I was a big Penn fan back in the day.
Well, he's the reason. Like those lightweight guys are obviously I fight at lightweight, so I'm gonna gravitate to them. BJ is like first person I saw and went, I want to do that shit. And Tony was like, oh my god, I wish I could fight like that, but I'm not that crazy.
Good point. Good point. Dimitri Niforos, thank you for being on Combat Zone here at BW Sports One, getting ready for his fight here in Indiana at Southern Indiana Combat Productions. Dimitri, now is your time. Fans, friends, family, sponsors, anything you want to throw out there, floor is yours, sir.
Sure, I shout them out all the time, but I don't think they ever watch my interviews. So I'm gonna give a shout out to my whole team at Syndicate. I'm gonna give a shout out to mom and dad. I love you. And then the hugest shout out to my girlfriend Manu and my brother who will be my corner there. So let's get it.
All right. I can't wait to watch you in the cage that night, October 22nd in Evansville, Indiana, at the Evansville Coliseum. Dimitri, thank you again for being on. I'll see you at the weigh ins on the 21st. I'll be down there all weekend. We'll have to catch up with each other and get some pre-fight stuff talk and post-fight things, and then maybe I'll be the first one to buy you that Bush Light. We'll
Oh
see.
my good. I get drunk really easy, so after the third one, I'll be done. Thank you so much.
Right on, Dimitri. Appreciate it again. Until then, we thank you for all watching. We'll see you October 22nd in Evansville, Indiana for Southern Indiana Combat Productions. Till then, we are out. Peace.